If you want to know more about how to befriend really difficult emotions like disgust or being hostile or feeling hate or feeling completely weak and humiliated, stay and watch this video, because I give you one tool that might help you navigate even these strong emotions. Welcome to the series Mental Health Bites. Navigate life, thrive, and have positive impact. So I wonder how many of us actually have learned in life how to deal with strong, difficult, or often called negative emotions. And why are they called negative? Because we don't want to experience them. Who wants to experience the feeling of embarrassment or shame, right? They're strong emotions. However, the truth is they are simply part of our lives. We all have emotions like that. So I find it really helpful if we learn ways to deal with them instead of pushing them down. In most societies, we get trained early on not to express difficult or negative emotions. If you just think about schools and being in the classroom, being too loud or too rowdy or using strong voice or expressions gets dismissed quite easily because you need to fit in and you shouldn't disturb the class, right? So we often accidentally learn early in life to push down our strong emotions. We think they're negative, they aren't good for us, because if we show them, we might have consequences. So for most of us, negative, as we call them, emotions are not a good thing. It's better to avoid them, not having them, or just ignore them. Yet that's the wrong way, because show me one household on this planet that hasn't experienced strong and difficult emotions like sadness and grief or anger. This is part of who we are. We are humans. We come with strong emotions. So better to learn ways early on in life, or if not now by watching these videos, on how to deal with them. So my suggestion is, and actually research backs me up, it's a good idea to be able what we call navigate strong and difficult emotions, finding good ways of dealing with them. And one of such ways is from a mindfulness teacher that I absolutely adore, Thich Nhat Hanh. He is the master of mindfulness. Bear with me, you don't need to go into meditation right now to deal with strong emotions. No, he teaches us actually a good skill, and he asks us and encourages us to befriend these negative emotions. And I think that's a brilliant idea, to let them actually become part of our lives, to open the door to them to be there with us. So how does that look like? It looks like imagining somebody comes at your door, a surprise guest. And that is a kid, a neighborhood kid that you know from seeing the child on the street, and that's rocking up at your door. And you wonder, hi, what are you doing here? You don't just shoo the child away or dismiss it. You open the door with curiosity. That's the first step that Thich Nhat Hanh actually encourages us to do. When a really difficult emotion shows up, like you feel hate, open the door, let it in and say, oh, hi, what are you doing here? How can I help you? I see you. I see you are here. I know this sounds really foolish because it is a lot to ask, but try it out. Try it out. Let the feeling come in and give it a bit of room. Because by validating, as we call it, by validating this feeling, it can already get a little bit over the peak. And instead of creating complete havoc in your house and making you do things that you later regret, you give it room and you observe it. Okay, I see hate is here with me. And then what I do now, knowing this technique, I actually talk to the emotion. I say, oh, yes, I, at the moment, feel completely being filled with hatred. I'm so angry at this person or the situation that I've just experienced or witnessed that I feel hate towards a situation or a certain group of people. The next thing is to say, I accept that. It's okay. It's okay to have that feeling. It's okay to feel hatred right now. And the next step is then to decide, so what am I going to do with this surprise guest at my door? I don't want it to stay too long because it's exhausting and I want to go on with my life. So what can I do? So for example, with the feeling of hate, which is a very strong and fiery emotion, motion is actually a great way to deal with it. Now I look for something to do with the emotion. So I might go around the block before going back to my desk or going back to talking to people. Or I might scribble with my pen ferociously on a piece of paper to get out that emotion. Or I might just scream into a pillow to deal with that emotion, to give it some action so it can actually go away. Because that's the one thing. Emotions come, like the surprise guest, and they go. No surprise guest should stay too long, and no emotion does, unless you fire it up by feeding it more and more thoughts. And feeding it more and more food, the child will stay in your house. So maybe don't do that. So here's the difference. I didn't shoo the surprise guest hatred away. I actually let it in. I gave it room. And then I proactively thought, what can I do to deal with that emotion? So I'm not letting it out on others, because that's the thing. We have the tendency to then turn towards other people and maybe yell or something to get rid of the emotion. And we want to find ways that are not harmful for ourselves or others. This is the tip I can give to you. Treat the strong emotions, go with Thich Nhat Hanh, like a child knocking at your door. Use compassion, use understanding, and then find one thing you can do to work with it. And know, eventually, every emotion, as strong as it might be, will pass. I hope this helped you today to navigate a little bit more your strong emotions better, to give them room in your life, and to find ways of dealing with it. If you want to know more about well-being in your daily life, little tricks and tools here and there, stay tuned to my channel. I would love to have you back.